The Orb of Glorfufendel is mine! The void is open, and soon your entire world will burn. Your victory will be short-lived, which... yeah. Unbeknownst to you, we found the one person who shares your blood and can undo the summoning. No, it cannot be. Behold, your long-lost daughter. Yeah, behold her. Long-lost daughter, you're, muted. And I shall cast your wretched soul into the void. Oh, sorry, we, missed most of that. It looked really cool, though. Yeah, it did. Should I start over? Maybe just the part before wretched soul. Hey there, how's it going? I'm TechDweeb, welcome. Thanks for clicking on the video today. I'm pretty big into pen and paper role-playing games, as you might have noticed. I mean, I've made videos about them, but also, there are dice scattered throughout approximately 95% of my videos. Those aren't props, this is just how I live. There are dice everywhere. I don't remember buying this many. I think they're reproducing. Apart from tech, video games, and making YouTube videos about tech and video games, tabletop RPGs are probably my biggest hobby. I spend a good few hours every week thinking about games, preparing games, playing games, and quietly wondering if buying another set of dice will finally make me whole. If you have absolutely no idea what a tabletop RPG is, well, I've already made a quick beginner's guide, which I'll link in the thingy below. But the short version is that a group of people gets together, the game rules are based on dice that determine what things happen, the game master is kind of like the god of the world and they create the setting and prepare fun stuff, the players have their characters with unique abilities, they say what they want to do, everyone rolls dice, and the game master says what terrible thing happens because you suck at rolling dice. I started playing RPGs in person years ago at my local game shop, but after the pandemic ruined that party, I eventually discovered that playing online was not only possible, it was actually super convenient. Not quite as special as playing in person, but you can play with people who live anywhere. That's how the internet works, if you didn't know. But I still like my online games to feel like pen and paper RPGs. My main game group is playing Shadowdark. Check out my Shadowdark videos if you want to learn more about that, or how to play. But when we play online, it feels like playing in person. I use physical dice, as do my players. We use physical character sheets. I keep my books nearby. I don't want the computer doing everything for me. I play enough video games, thank you very much. I just want it to provide a table that everyone can see, even though we're all sitting in different houses. And the tools I use for this are Owlbear Rodeo, that's our virtual tabletop, Token Stamp, which is what I use to make my tokens, and I use Notion for keeping my notes and tables and stuff all organized. I love these tools because they are simple. That's why I wanted to make this video, to show you the simple way to do this. Token Stamp lets me make really quick game pieces for my characters and monsters and stuff. Owlbear Rodeo lets me just plop down maps and tokens so I can focus on the fun parts of prepping a game without wrestling with complicated software. It's easy as heck for my players too. Trust me, if my players can figure out how it works, anyone can. And Notion is just a note-taking thing. I use this to plan out my entire campaign. I keep a database of NPCs so I don't forget stuff, and all my info is easy to find. I have monsters in here too. Each game session has full session notes. I also use this for writing my scripts and organizing my TechDweeb stuff, by the way. I'm gonna give you a Notion tutorial someday, but for this, you can use Notion or use whatever document editor you like. Or even just stick with pen and paper to do your planning. Whatever works for you. Today is just going to be about the game stuff. I'll show you exactly how I prepare and run my weekly game in Owlbear Rodeo, what it's like for the players, and how you can start playing pen and paper RPGs online the easy way. The cool part is that you don't really need anything. I mean, we're talking about playing online, so you will need a device of some sort, obviously. Something to go online with, but that's pretty much it. Owlbear Rodeo will run on your phone, but ideally you'll want a computer with a nice big screen. That gives you enough room for the map on one side and the beautiful faces of your fellow dorks on the other. You'll also need a camera and microphone if you're using video chat. Everything else depends on the RPG you're playing. Owlbear Rodeo doesn't care what system you use. You can use it for almost anything. You just bring whatever rules, character sheets, and other assorted nerd paperwork that your game requires. We play Shadowdark, which is very rules light. Players only really need a character sheet, while the game master also needs the book, the rules. Shadowdark even has free quick start rules, so you can get started playing without spending anything. I'll link to those below. The full book is fantastic. I can't recommend it enough, but free is also a very good price. You'll probably also want a pen and paper. It's called a pen and paper RPG after all. I mean, you can use a pencil if you want, but I don't use a pencil because I'm not a coward. And you'll probably want some dice. You don't technically need physical dice because Owlbear has a nice dice roller built in, but physical dice are lovely. They make fun noises and they come in pretty colors. And eventually they'll occupy every corner in your home. So that's it. A device, the rules for your game, something to write on, and maybe some dice. Basically, you need almost nothing. I somehow took several minutes to explain that. Let's cover the player side first because this is going to be extremely easy. Enjoy this, players. The Game Master section will be a lot more involved. To play on Owlbear, the Game Master is going to send you a link and you can open that, enter your name, and ask to join. You can create an account if you want the same profile every time, but you don't have to. Just click link, type name, enter dungeon. No degree in fantasy software required. Your Game Master will give you control of a token which you can move around the map. You'll still have to obey the rules of the game, of course. You can't just grab your little token and sprint away while everyone screams at you. Well, you can, but you shouldn't do that. Owlbear also has this built-in dice roller that shares your results with everyone. We use physical dice because click-clack rocks make brain happy, but the option is there. You can even add character sheets and other features through plugins. We don't use those either. Our character sheets, books, and dice stay on the desk. Owlbear is basically just our shared map and miniature table. And that's it. Open the link, move your little guy, and play the game. Players have it disgustingly easy. Now, the Game Master's job is a lot more complicated, but the complicated part is in actually prepping for the game. Owlbear Rodeo is the easy part, so you'll need to do your Game Master thing. Make your maps however you like. I like to use Photoshop, but you can use just like Windows Paint or whatever. Or you can find maps online. There's a bazillion free battle maps and campaign maps out there. For Owlbear, all you need is an image file of your map and images for your tokens and stuff. Or heck, if you're feeling creative, you can just draw maps right in Owlbear. They have a full suite of drawing tools available. For this demonstration, I'm using this map that I drew from my Shadowdark game. The story of this one is, well, it's complicated, but basically it's a frozen Viking land and there was a mountain made of ice and a mysterious comet appeared that was sent by some fey creatures, and that comet hit the mountain, which exposed an underground cave system, and the characters had to run inside because the army of the dead was on their way, and inside they discovered a Myconid village and a Diverg settlement, and also they found an ancient temple with a frozen prison of an ice witch, which they accidentally opened and released into the world. You know, normal RPG stuff. Actually, you know what? I'll toss a link to this map in the thingy below if you want to use it for something, for whatever reason. The important part is that I have a JPEG of the map. When you first sign in to Owlbear Rodeo, you're going to create a room for your game. I already have one for my weekly campaign, but I can't show that to you here because my players might be watching, and those little snoops haven't earned behind the screen privileges. Once you're inside, open the Asset Manager, go to Screens, and drop in your map. Owlbear will turn it into a new scene, and just like that, we have somewhere to make terrible decisions. You can get very precise with the grid if your game needs it. These little sliders let you change the size of the map relative to the grid, so you know, go nuts with this if that's your thing. Shadowdark uses more abstract distances though, so I mostly resize the map until everything looks basically right, and then just kind of wing it from there. Oh, and Owlbear can detect an existing grid if your map already has a grid on it, or you can just adjust it manually. I use the ancient Game Master technique known as it's close enough. Once the scale feels right, I hide the grid, give the scene a name, and that's it. Our map is ready. Noise. An empty map is lovely, peaceful, so quiet you can hear a pin drop. But eventually you're going to need to fill it with heroes and monsters and NPCs and miscellaneous dungeon weirdos. For that, I use a free website called Token Stamp. So just find or create some artwork. You got to just have image files of the stuff you want to make into tokens, drag the image into Token Stamp, and then you just adjust the size and the border, and then just download the finished token. I use white borders for player characters and black borders for monsters and NPCs. This serves no important mechanical purpose. I'm just extremely serious about my little circles. Back in Owlbear, open the Asset Manager and drag in your finished tokens. You can name them, change their default size, add labels, and organize them into folders. Or don't organize anything and spend every session asking, where did I put the goblins? From there, drag your tokens onto the map. You can turn grid snapping on or off, hide monsters from the players with the little eyeball button so that you can reveal them at the perfect dramatic moment. Or if you're me, 3 minutes early because you clicked the eyeball button by accident. You can also assign control of any token to a player. Now they can move their own character around the map while you maintain control of everything trying to eat them. The last big thing that I set up is lighting. And this is optional. I mean, you can absolutely show your players the entire map and trust them to pretend that they don't know what's around the corner. Lots of people play that way and they have fun. Unfortunately, players have eyes and memories and an uncontrollable desire to find entrances to secret rooms that they 100% know are there. If you're using lighting, the simple option is to use Owlbear's built-in fog system. So just cover the map and then reveal areas with the brush or polygon tools as the players explore. It works perfectly well and it takes almost no preparation. But Shadowdark is heavily focused on torchlight, so I use an extension called Dynamic Fog. You can find it under extensions in the kebab menu on the bottom left. Once it's enabled, you can attach a light to a character and choose how far it shines. Now players see only what their torch actually illuminates. It's dramatic and atmospheric, and occasionally allows a skeleton to appear directly beside someone when they come around a corner. Good wholesome fun. Or you can do what I do and kind of go through and quickly paint walls onto the map so that the light won't pass through them. When the players open a door, remove that section of the wall and reveal whatever horrible mistake is waiting on the other side. This looks complicated, but I keep this very loose and sloppy. I roughly paint in the walls, add a few lights, and just get back to making the actual adventure. This part usually just takes me a few minutes. And you don't need any of this. You can just slap down a map, reveal the whole thing, and start playing. Lighting is just spooky little icing on the dungeon cake. One more little trick, in Owlbear, you can create a separate room that your players don't have access to. However, in here you can still access all the same maps and stuff as your main room. This allows you to open maps and edit stuff while your game is going if you need to, but your players won't see it live. I call this God mode. Just make 2 shortcuts, one for your main game and one for the God mode version. And then you can jump into the God mode one if you need to do stuff behind the scenes. Owlbear is as organized as you are. Like, you can just dump every big map and token into one big digital junk drawer, or build an entire campaign with overworld maps, hex grids, chapters, tons of monsters and NPCs, all neatly organized into folders. I do a bit of both, to be honest. The important stuff is carefully organized, but everything else just goes into the "I'll deal with this later" pile. And that's why Owlbear Rodeo is the virtual tabletop that I keep coming back to. I've used lots of them. Roll20, Foundry, Fantasy Grounds, but Owlbear gives me everything I need without making me feel like I'm learning a game engine just to make a goblin cave. Most importantly, it stays out of the way. I can spend my time creating adventures, drawing maps, inventing monsters, and actually playing the game. Give me Owlbear Rodeo, a few friends, and a dangerously large fistful of dice, and we've got ourselves a game night. If you want to learn more, there's actually a lot more advanced stuff you can get into if you want to. Owlbear has some excellent tutorials. I've also made videos about pen and paper RPG basics, how to play Shadowdark, and how to be a game master. I'll link to all those videos below. I spoil you, you know that? Let me know if there's any other RPG videos you'd like to see. Otherwise, you'll be at the mercy of whatever other side quest my brain wanders into next. Anyways, that's it from me. Click like, click subscribe, click the other YouTube things down there. I'm TTRPGs. Thanks for watching. Bye-bye.